Student Union President Delhi logode live chabo.
Itia mohan dikhi thake nishna mohan iman diktar homoi de jase mohan dikhi pai se ki manuan sopi itia duk time de jagina than sobi everybody is struggling to breathe, everybody is struggling in orna idu ja homoi de mohan Nagaland de ki hua se mohan idu so manu dikhi ase mohan data khan sobi ase mohan laga naga manuhan kiman positive hoy ase kiman negative hoy ase kiman bhalo ase aro kiman manu laga jan ja ase idu laga sopi mohan la hati data thake hulibi mohan aru mohan laga naga laga bhai aro buini khan mohan laga brothers and sisters khan alag jaga ri northeast bahar de jagina puria khan laga do mohan iman information bi na pai aro information bi nai to idu laga opor de mohan detailedly discuss koribole aro tadibi halat kini ase edu kan janibole karne mohan lode aji Naga Student Union President Delhi aina ase Sir Isaac Chari namai. So thank you so much sir for joining us today. So mohan idu discussion do age parai na mo idu first question hudiole mon jabo ki ita da Nagaland laga manuhan Nagaland na students kan Delhi de kiman manu puri ase idu laga data asna nai.
Yep, thank you. Actually, first of all, thank you for having me on your HornbillTv show. Naga Students Union Delhi consists of all Nagas, actually from Nagaland, Manipur, and Assam, and also some from Arunachal and Myanmar as well. So we actually cater the need to both students, working community, and then job seekers, and also the family members. I mean, families staying in Delhi. So to be very, very honest, I was elected on 27th of April 2021.
Okay.
So I'm still at fresh. So I have actually, I mean, our team is actually in the process of getting all the data of students living here in Delhi.
Yes,
as of now, most of the students, they have went back because of the pandemic starting since last year. So as of now, it is very difficult for me to, give you the number of students, how many are still staying in Delhi. But like I said, we are in the process. We have reached out to the units, and the units are also doing their best in reaching out to their community members through village representative. So very soon we'll be getting the data of all the students who are currently here in Delhi.
Okay. Yeah. So moving forward, we know that life outside Nagaland is different. And then, however, there are also harsher realities like with living among other communities. We face discrimination and also racism. So how do you think students cope with all these issues to focus on their studies?
Yes, discrimination and racism are not a new thing. It happens actually on daily basis, from being called with different names like chow mein, momo, chinkies. And sometimes we do face the issue of, rent, the dress choice that we have, and the food habitats. However, the students community is actively, getting engaged with Delhi Police Spooner. We also have a Delhi Police Northeast representative, which I'm also part of it. And also other like-minded, I would say, NGOs, which we have been working together in fighting against the discrimination and racism against our people.
Okay.
And I would also say there are Northeast cells in all the colleges in the university to cater the need of our people in that particular colleges. So I'm very sure that they are also doing great. Now, on these, when we talk about issues of racism and discrimination, I would suggest and request our people living in not only in Delhi but in any other metropolitan cities to I would like to encourage them to be a part of the community organization. Now, when we talk about Delhi, I would suggest our people to keep in touch with Naga students in Delhi. Of course, they have their respective unit.
Yes.
And also, I would suggest them to prioritize and know the reason why they are in the metropolitan city.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So also over the years, we have seen a lot of suicide cases, or youngsters who study outside committing suicide. So is there any, government support or community are in place, whether, it's in the form of welfare schemes or counseling?
it is very excruciating to see, and experience our people, taking their own life. It is very unfortunate for different XYZ reason. Maybe they might have personal reasons, family reasons. But as for your question, as of now, we do not have any, support systems like welfare schemes or any counseling support for a student outside. It's a very good question that you have raised. In fact, by taking this opportunity, I would request our government also to, have such kind of schemes wherein there would be a welfare schemes and counseling support for our people actually outside who are, doing their focusing on their career or doing jobs in different sectors.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So also, when we talk about admissions for students, it's always it's the student unions that help with the admissions. So do you think that should be done by the government?
As for me, student organization is formed to assist and work for the welfare of students.
Okay, sir.
So I think students' body assisting our, newcomers, students during the admission process is a paramount important duty of students' organization in the metropolitan city, or not only in metropolitan city, but in different parts,
Okay, sir.
But in this, when we go ahead and assist the students in the admission process, it is also very important for us to, collaborate with our state government when we talk particularly for metropolitan city.
Yes, sir.
It would be good that we, collaborate with the state government, maybe bhawans or houses that are available. When we talk about any city, we actually collaborate with, we actually set up every year, any city admission help desk, and that is under the assistance of our state government.
Okay,
They would provide us the assistance, and then they would provide us, a room for us to come together and assist our people, and then that's how we have been doing. So yes, like I said, students organization should, I would say they should back up, but the student body should collaborate with the state government so that we can work together in ensuring our freshers get admitted in their desired college or university without much difficulty. Is what I think.
Okay. So moving forward, what are some of the things that NGOs and student unions can do better in regard to addressing issues related to Northeast people?
When we talk about Northeast people living in different parts of the city, when there is a big issue relating to racism and all,
yes,
we all Northeast people comes together and we fight for it.
Yes, sir.
But many a times, in other cases, there is little or maybe no coordination at all among all the Northeast people.
Yes, sir.
So I strongly feel that coordination between the various student bodies and like-minded organization should come together, during this difficult time. Now, what I'm trying to see is actually we need to unite and fight together,
Yes, sir.
as a whole Northeast people. Yeah.
So also during this pandemic, how have been the student unions and communities representing Northeast communities such as Nagaland working during this? I mean, how are you guys working during this pandemic? What are the things that you have been doing? And also adding to that, I also want to ask, if a student or if somebody living outside they test positive, then how are they being taken care of?
Naga Students Union Delhi took a very proactive role, in assisting our people during the first pandemic. I mean, during the first COVID wave, which is back in 2020. Actually, it started in 2020. And this year also we are doing the same thing again, because we have constituted a emergency COVID task force committee, and we have been helping our people. Now, how we reach out and how we help our people is, as of now, we have received some assistance from the Bhavans. So we are assisting them by providing oximeters, masks, sanitizers. We also have oxygen portable bottles We also have oxygen cylinder, which is ready. So by doing all these things, we are catering the need of our people. Now, when you ask about people who are infected with COVID and how we are taking care of them, actually, there is no as such that a government have given regulation to let the COVID positive be, hospitalized or nothing as such. There is no regulation. So as of now, when any patient or any of our community members get infected with COVID, and if it doesn't require, to be hospitalized, or if it is in a mild cases, what we do is we also encourage them to, do home isolation. And like said, when they are under home isolation, we provide oximeter to, continue checking their oxygen level. And also we provide sanitizer, we provide masks, and then, like I said, we have oxygen being ready, which is with us, and also the oxygen portable bottle. So this is how we have been, reaching them out, and that's how many of the COVID positive are under home isolation, and many have already recovered as well.
So do you have any data of how many of our people have tested positive or lost their lives or have recovered? Do you have any data on that?
No, actually, when we talk about COVID positive, COVID, this pandemic, many of our people doesn't want to share that they are infected with COVID.
Yes. There's still the stigma
many a
attached.
time, exactly. So what we actually encourage them is, COVID disease is not a disease of shame, but many people, feel that insecurity, or they are afraid, I would say, in one way, about social stigma. So many of them doesn't report, but a few have reported, and I have also keeping in touch with the units, the subunits, and the tribal units under any city. So as per the latest, it's not accurate number, but I would say it would as per the record, it would be somewhere around 700 to 800 people which have reported to union, but I'm very sure there would be more in thousands.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, they doesn't want to report, or they doesn't want anybody to know about the disease that they were infected, which is not very encouraging actually.
Yes, sir. So we would also want to know how has the government been helping out during this time, sir? Also cutting you short there. Also cutting you short there. Last year when we had the first wave, we all had, our students being brought from Delhi and other parts of the cities to Nagaland safely, and also they were given, money of 10,000 and everything. So, what is the government doing for that this year in the second wave?
Okay. As of now, I haven't heard anything about such financial assistance being provided to any migrants or our people living in different cities. But I'm very sure that the state government have given some maybe assistance to the Bawans which are in Delhi.
Okay, sir.
I would be very specific with Delhi because I wouldn't have much idea about financial assistance for the state. So when we talk about financial assistance, government have, I'm very sure the state government have been reaching out to the state bawans and houses. So there's no doubt they are doing great in that field.
Okay, so also what are the procedures and protocols that are followed in addressing to times of emergencies such as accidents or serious illness or deaths?
Oh, this is a very lengthy one, but yes, I'll try to cut it short. Now, if there is any, accident or serious illness, we have no other option than to go to the nearest hospital without wasting our time.
Yes, sir.
That's what I would say about the, accident and serious illness. But when we talk about death, there are so many procedures that we need to follow. That way, the mortal remain can be, taken back to our native state. Now, when we fail to do all these things, there are many issues that we have already faced.
Yes, sir.
I would give you one example later after giving the procedures that what we should be doing when any one of our members passed away in Delhi, and if we wanted to take the body back home.
Yes.
Now, first thing, what we need to do is we need to get the report, the discharge report, medical records, everything related to patient from the hospital, and then also we need to get the MLC, which is also known as medical legal cases, and the most important is NOC, which is no objection certificate from police, from the concerned police station in the jurisdiction where the patient passed away in the hospital. And after getting all these three documents, the dead body, I mean the mortal remain, would be taken to mortuary, wherein they would undergo different kind of things again, like they would undergo postmortem. And I mean, during this time, if a patient is tested COVID positive, there wouldn't be any postmortem, and we cannot even take the body back home also. But if in natural death, and if there is no COVID positive or nothing as such, then there would be postmortem, there would be embalming, and then we need to get the a postmortem receipt. We also need to get the embalming certificate, and then we also need to get the handing over certificate from police, handing over to the parents or to the immediate cousins or XYZ person.
Okay.
And also we need to, very importantly, we need to also get coffin certificate, without which the airport wouldn't carry the coffin. We need to have the certified coffin, and then bill receipt for cargo, and also receiving documents. When you reach, let's say when we take the body to Nagaland, we will need to produce a receiving document once we reach the airport.
Okay.
So we need to keep in mind all these documents, and then we need to be ready with that. Now, when any of our members pass away, we need to be very careful, having all the documents. Otherwise, it is very difficult to process. Okay. Now, one example I would like to tell here is last year, one of our sister passed away from Rajasthan.
Okay.
And their family decided to take the body from Delhi through, airline. So they came all the way from the Jodhpur to Delhi, but I don't know how they reached, because there was no NOC, there was no coffin certificate, nothing as such. So upon reaching here in Nagaland, reaching here in Delhi at Nagaland House, we have to, start again afresh. We call up, actually we are very thankful to Robin Hivu also. With his intervention, we get connected again to station house officer there in Jodhpur, and then IO. That's how they provide us again NOC, and then there was no coffin certificate, so we changed the coffin from Delhi with the certified one, and then that's how the body was taken to airport, and it was taken to Nagaland. So these are a few things. I have so many things to share about the procedure of that, and then how the dead body has to be taken, but I'll share with this only a few points.
Okay, sir. So also I would also like to know, there's if I'm not mistaken, there's such a rule that when you go out and study outside Northeast state, if you're not registered under this union, then it says that the union is not responsible. Is there anything as such?
I wouldn't have, a very good answer to this, but as for me, I would never want my, people to know me only when I'm in trouble, or maybe when I took my last breath, or, whatever. I don't want my people to let know only when there is trouble, but I think we should be all responsible citizens, and we should be all responsible person. Now, when I say responsible person, it is very important for us to get registered with our own community members, and also keep in touch with our community members. That way, we can always reach out. We can help one another, not only in times of trouble, but we share the good and then the bad, everything together. And that's how I think we should continue living in such city. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for us to reach out and help one another. So I would say it's very important for them to register. But I would just add one point.
Yes,
now,
sure, sir.
there are many people. Yeah, there are many people who doesn't register, but we cannot just leave them as it is. So we have to take up the case when there is any issue. So yeah, we have been doing that actually.
Okay. So also again, during this time, I know that there's lockdown, and then but the union has to function, the union has to do, the duties that they have to. So how are you guys being connected during this time? How are you guys connecting and communicating and coordinating?
We actually have a task force for all the community members living in Delhi. So by now, all the units, all the community members would have their own community task force. But we also have task force set up for Naga students in Delhi as well. So we coordinate with them, and then that's how we assist. We assist them. We provide them what are the basic requirements that they need. So this is how we have been coordinating, and we'll still go ahead and continue to do that.
Okay, so also we would like to know what are the challenges you all are facing now currently, as an organization taking care of a community.
I would say there could be no other bigger challenges, than risking our life at this pandemic, going out, meeting the patients, and we never know, even if the patient is not being tested, with COVID, yes, but we never know. But, we have been venturing out, going to hospital for emergency cases. So sometimes it becomes, it becomes a great challenge for us. We feel even uncomfortable coming back to our room where our brothers and sisters are living together, thinking that, what if I'm being, contracted with COVID because I've been meeting patients. I'm just talking on my own perspective, yes, but I do, I'm very sure that all the executive, all the student leaders, they would feel the same thing. But at the end, there is that joy of happiness when we help people already, and when we can think about it, and the kind of joy that they express when we assist them. So I think, though we are risking our life, though we feel uncomfortable, at the end of the day, we are being comforted by that joy of happiness when we help other people. So yes, that's how we have been doing.
So I would also like to ask, when certain misfortunes happen, or when there's controversies happen to students living outside, then people generally blame it on the lifestyle. That's what we have seen. And then, so do you think, is it the lifestyle, or are there deeper issues that need more humane intervention?
In this, I would say, India is a very diverse country, and we cannot completely blame the ignorance of other people.
Yes, sir.
But, we cannot blame others for they could not understand the kind of lifestyle we are living, because we have different culture, traditions.
Yes, sir.
But I think we also need to play a very big role. There is a saying goes, when you're in Rome, do like Romans do.
Yes, sir.
So I think we should know how to adapt to the culture and custom where we are actually. But I feel, the education part is one main problem. That's what I would, as per my experience, as there is, a little about the Northeast, or, there is no mention, in fact, I would say, there is no mention about Northeast in the textbook. So which is one reason why the people in metro cities could understand the culture, the lifestyle of our people. So, that lead us, or that give us some perception that it's because of our lifestyle. But of course, our lifestyle is also there, but then, education system need to play a very important role in this.
So also at this time, we would like to know, how helpful has the Naga Christian Fellowship been during this pandemic, sir?
I would say they are doing great. I wouldn't have much comment on this, because most of our Naga people living in Delhi especially have their own community churches.
Yes, sir.
So they are happy with their own community churches. Okay, but I think having NCF here in Delhi is also very important for our people. And I could see, I have also experienced attending NCF church, and I could see the kind of engagement with the youth. So
yes, sir.
I think that they are playing a very good important role. But I just feel NCF should also reach out more to, especially to youth, not only in the church, but reaching out to people is what I feel. Yeah.
So also coming to an end of this conversation, is there anything you'd like to say to our viewers, sir?
I would want to say many things, but I will just end up, by giving some few points that our people should be careful about.
Yes, sir.
Now, I would be giving some few points, I would say, for the people living in different metropolitan city.
Yes, sir.
Now, as we have come to different metropolitan city, I would request and suggest our people to know their priority, as in why they are in metropolitan city. If they are here to work, focus on your work that you are doing. If you're here to study, build your career, then focus on your studies. As a student, especially as a student, we should not let anything deviate us from study as a student. I mean, as an aspiring student. And a few things that I would like to suggest, and which I always say is, our people are so careless. So I would suggest them to always, have first aid box, medicines for emergency things. So I strongly, suggest our people, whenever I meet, to at least have some basic medicines like paracetamol or whatnot.
Yes.
So that has saved many people also, as per my experience. So, and I would also request our people living in city to, always keep in touch with their community, church,
Yes, sir.
and also know the emergency contacts. Especially in Delhi, we have 1093, which is the toll-free number for Northeast people living in Delhi. Delhi Police schooner is always there to help us. And also we have Delhi Police Northeast representative.
Okay, sir.
And some few, for all the Northeast people, whosoever comes to Delhi for any treatment, I would suggest them to reach out to Students' Body. Not because we would help them to, get cured, but there are some hospitals in Delhi which has, some discount for Northeast people.
Yes,
There are more than 40, I think 30 to 40 hospitals they give discount for Northeast people.
Okay.
Some give 20, some give 10, some give 15. So I would request our people to contact the Students' Body and at least get some discount about all these things. Let us try to avail the facility which is being provided to us.
Okay, sir.
And lastly, one request that I would like to make for, the back hometown students organization.
Yes, sir.
It's my humble appeal. I think we need to organize more seminars and counseling for our people back home before they are being sent out to metropolitan cities. By doing this, they would have more awareness about cultural shock when they reach different metropolitan city. So this is my humble request to all the Students' Body back home also, to please organize more seminar and counseling, maybe in the respective village, maybe respective church or respective area. And then the Students' Body can, play a very important role in educating our people about, other metropolitan cities. Because there are many of our people, when they come to Delhi or any metropolitan city, they would come without, any ID proof. There are many times we have encountered, they would be. Yeah. I think we lose the connection.
Yes, sir. So we're really sorry for that.
No, it's fine. I was talking about the, the old voter ID card that our people use with incorrect name, incorrect photos. Though their names are mentioned correctly, there would be wrong, photo passport being pasted there. Or though their names and their, photo are correct, their date of birth would be different again. So, all these things used to happen. So before they come to any metropolitan city, we would advise them or would suggest them to have a valid ID proof.
Okay, so thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that our viewers are now very much informed about what to do and what not to do. And also, thank you so much that we at least got to know what is going on in that other parts, part of our country, where our Naga brothers and sisters are there. And I wish you all the best for your future endeavors as well, and also, we believe that you'll keep leading our youngsters like how you are leading right now with your with the same spirit, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.